Alright. We're at the point where Stanley's in his car thinking about what Alfred is planning to do. I went with the same choice again. He is just about to call HG, I think. The bomb was set to detonate in response to a specific piece of music, and the ringtone in Hitomi's phone was the trigger. Where could the bomb be hidden then? Can we skip further ahead? We can't. Interesting. He needed to alert Kano and the others right away. As he pulled out his phone again, he recalled the map of stakeout positions. Kano would probably be right next to the decal Alfred. This is all the same. Why are we reading this? Why are we forced to read this, rather? Let's call Hachi. Please don't let me be too late, he muttered to himself as he waited. Yes. We've read this. I don't think it's any different, to be honest. Hachi still didn't pick up. Let's take a look, can we? We can scroll further down, so we can't skip ahead. Wait, what? It's a keep out now? I have to jump to him? Okay, who can jump to... Oh, look! Kano's fate also changed that way. So let's jump to Stanley now. Man, this is weird. Suddenly the whole game changed just because Tateno didn't die? It's interesting. Kano dialed up Ozawa, Stanley Electronics Shop, yes. Wait. This jump is way too far back. Oh fuck, it happened again. I did this before. I distinctly remember doing exactly this mistake. So it's Hachi that can jump to Stanley. No, what? Do I have to use this Stanley jump then? Why do I have to use this one again? What about Stanley then? Is he on his way here? Yes. Let's hope this is right. Wait, what? Is this far enough? Let's take a look. I'm confused. Stanley again tried to deduce Alfred's plan of action. What was the objective? Wait, what? What's going on? This is too early. How do we get this jump? Maybe we have to continue with Kano and Hachi. Oh, fuck me. How many times do I have to do this bullshit? What are you thinking? Let's go for the same thing again. I'm gonna have to try to skip as much as possible. Yep. Even then my friends will avenge me. Let's try to go back. And here we go. This is another Stanley jump here. This should be it. I'm sorry for all of this back and forth. Wait, this is the jump. Oh, whatever, it doesn't make any sense, whatever. Oh fuck, the call goes through this time? Okay, guess I have to do something with Hachi then. I don't even need to continue this. Let me just get to the time chart, please. Hachi has to call the bluff? Or maybe... Wait, it was Tateno's end. Is there any way for us to not let her call Hitomi? And still? Because that could have been it, right? Oh my god. Stop. Stop. Don't do this. Shook her head and put the phone away. Yeah, okay, now she doesn't call anyone, which means no bomb will go off with the ringtone. Let's see if it... Did it change something? In the grand scheme of things, apparently it didn't, but let's try for... Let's see if there's any safe sign. Let's see if we just... I mean... Let's go back to this. Or rather further down, and it's saved, okay. Now it did save. And okay, we have it unlocked again. It was just... I was just retarded. I'm sorry. Sorry to say. We can jump to Hachi, we can jump to Kano. We can jump to Stanley, which is the wrong Stanley jump. We can jump to Stanley over here, which hopefully is the right Stanley jump. And finally we're back on track. After... I don't know, did we do anything in this episode yet? Maybe we did. No, actually we didn't, right? I just started this one. If I do cut it like I want to cut it. Well, I'm sorry, but we're gonna do something now. This is Stanley, what's going on? Blah, 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 blah. Let's try to go down as much as possible. Here we go. Can skip all of that, almost. Let's go back to the decision we get. I mean... arresting her isn't enough. Let's go for the sensible one again this time. What would Frank think? I don't know, what would Frank think? What would Frank do, actually? Here we go. And now this should be different. Tateno shouldn't be hit in the head, but rather somewhere else, probably. Because it's not a point-blank shot. And he shouldn't have died instantaneously. So all in all, it's maybe not so good for Tateno, but he still helped us. There were 2 people standing outside the front gate. Oh my god. He's still alive. It was Tateno, the girl who was pretending to be Kanan. Each had a gun drawn on the other. Somehow Stanley had made it in time. So this took long enough, apparently. Okay. He pulled his car up alongside them and reached down into the gun sleeve concealed behind his seat. Beside his seat, sorry. Damn, that's a big gun, Stanley. He pulled out a .44 caliber Desert Eagle, one of the most powerful semi-automatic handguns in the world. A semi-automatic handgun designed by Minnesota-based Magnum Research Inc. and manufactured by Israeli Weapon Industries. There are various models chambered for different rounds. The largest, the .50 Action Express, .50 AE, is exceptionally powerful by semi-automatic handgun standards. You know, I'm not a fan of guns, but I would love to shoot a Desert Eagle one time. Go to a firing range and just try it out. I have a friend that did that, and apparently it's a weird feeling. You can't really describe it. I would never fucking point a gun at a human being, or any living being, I think. This is too much power, too much responsibility for me, but just the thought of, I mean, guns are crazy. I don't know what to say. Let's just continue on. His orders were to apprehend Alfred. The smaller Glock in his shoulder holster might be better suited to that end. Even so, he opted for the Desert Eagle. Gotta go all the way, right? What the fuck are you guys doing here? Getting out of the car, he started pacing towards the young woman. Stanley. Tateno glanced over at him, his face pale. Stanley gave a silent nod in reply. He could see the hint of a smile on the girl's face. Probably a smile of overconfidence. And as we all know, it's a slow and insidious killer. Well, her brazenness would get her no further. I got in touch with the others, Stanley said. Told them to turn off to use our cell phone. He could see her eyes react. I imagine that, by now, they've also managed to deal with the bomb you planted on your decoy. The young woman remained silent. And of course, they've managed to bypass the lock inside the lab. You know what that means. Your little plan has failed. Completely. Stanley could see the girl's stare sharpen. This is the first time she's not getting her way. He chased Alfred all around the world, only to arrive here at last in this little island nation. It had been a long, long journey, and he'd spent a long time suffering. The music's getting ever louder, I'm sorry. Now, both the journey and the suffering would be over. We meet at last, Alfred. Oh, juicy. Okay, I didn't think we'd encounter another end that soon. End of his story. And possibly the clear for the other ones. Oh my, holy shit. Whoa, okay, this, I'm sorry for being so overly excited. However, it is the epilogue. I'm immediately gonna go in. Kanan's friend. Oh fuck, I wonder if there's different ends. There has to be, right? But how do you determine the fucking ends if you're forced with bad ends all the time? She felt a hand firmly clutching her own as she hastily returned to consciousness. Maria or what? This hand. Whose is it? My father's? It fucking is. Maria's eyelids slowly drifted open. Maria, you're all right now. Her father was indeed beside her, holding her hand. A surprising warmth radiated from his slender, bony palm. Dad? She was lying on a sofa. She craned her neck to look around, still trying to process what was going on. There were several monitors set up around the room. Where are we? At my laboratory. You were infected with a virus, but I've given you the antiviral. You don't have anything to worry about. He squeezed Maria's hand even more tightly. That hurts. Ah, right. Sorry. Osawa eased up the pressure on his daughter's hand, but he didn't let go entirely. This feels so strange, Maria muttered, staring up the ceiling. I wonder why. She's the tragic heroine of all this, right? I mean, not knowing where she came from, who she is in the beginning, and then being unconsciousness for the second half. I wonder why. What does? Having you hold my hand. I used to hold your hand like this when we'd go on walks together, when you were little. I doubt you remember that though. Spoiled brat. Maria considered. It was true, she didn't have any clear memory of her father holding a hand like this, and yet the touch of her father's palm felt distantly familiar. Gently, she squeezed back. It's been a while, hasn't it? She said. I mean, me looking you in the eye while I'm talking to you. That's only because I didn't look you in the eye. Osawa hung his head. I'm so sorry, he said. Please, forgive me. I never meant to hurt you like I did. Wait, hold on. Maria was taken aback. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean hurt me? Back on that rainy day. Osawa told Maria about the day she'd run away from home. About how he'd known where she had gone, but hadn't gone to find her. About how he'd given in to his anger and struck her once she came back home. When he'd finished, he hung his head once more. I'm so sorry. I've been such a terrible father. Maria cracked an impish smile. Oh yeah, I guess that did happen. Osawa frowned. You know, she said, I'd totally forgotten about that. She didn't care about it as much as he did. Until you mentioned it just now, I mean. No, I can't believe that, Osawa replied. The way I hurt you, He sounded so disappointed in himself. And her, maybe? Dad, it's not like I can let myself dwell on each and every detail of my childhood. I mean, in the 19 or so years I've been alive. What do you mean, or so? I've been hurt in lots of different ways. A child experienced so much more than what her parents knew. That was what growing up was all about. It was a happy thing, but also a little bit sad. Osawa was visibly grappling with his feelings. I see, he said. I guess you have gone through much pain. Well, yeah, but there have been more things that were fun and happy. I see. It's a sum of all those things that have made me who I am today. So please, don't worry so much about the past. Kill it, rather. Kill the fucking past. I see. Dad, you keep saying I see. Stop it. Sorry. It's just... This is also difficult to say. Osawa was trying and failing to hold back his tears. Maria wasn't quite sure what those tears were for, but she felt a prickle of embarrassment. Shyly, she looked away and her eyes alighted on one of the monitors. The screen showed a view from outside the lab. Who are those people? She asked, pointing. Osawa looked and his eyes widened in shock. 3 people with guns were facing off with one another. Maria recognized one of them. Tateno, the man with the cane. Why are those 2 pointing guns at your friend? Oh, it's Osawa speaking. Why are those 2 pointing guns at your friend? Osawa's voice was shaking. My friend? What do you mean? The one you met when we went to the Middle East. You know, Kanan. Osawa switched the monitor to show a different camera angle. That's not Kanan! That's Alpha! A close-up of the young woman's face appeared on the screen. Maria was at a loss for words. That certainly wasn't Kanan. It was the girl who'd come to tell Maria that Hitomi was going to be kidnapped. Kanan's friend. Oh. So Kanan didn't know anything about all of that happening. She's still in the Middle East, apparently. It had happened 3 days earlier. We finally get all of the backstory. While Maria was on her way home from campus, a girl approached her, telling her she was a friend of Kanan. Kanan asked me to pass along a message, she said. Then she showed Maria a video recording. The video quality was quite poor and the voice indistinct. There's a terrorist who's after the antiviral agent your father is developing. Maria listened in shock as the message continued. Did she doctor that? The terrorist's plan was already in motion, and Hitomi had been infected with a killer virus. Your father used the antiviral to save Hitomi, but the terrorists planned on that. I'll spare you the details, but there's a way to extract the antiviral from Hitomi's blood. Stealing the drug from the laboratory directly is too problematic. The terrorist intends to get it directly from your sister. Hitomi is certain to be kidnapped sometime in the next few days, and so I have something to ask you. I'd like you to get kidnapped in her place. Since you're twins, it should be possible for you to trade places without the kidnappers realizing it. I gave the girl who's passing along this message a necklace outfitted with a small GPS beacon. Make sure you wear the necklace. Switch it on and it'll allow me to keep tabs on your location. I promise I'll come and rescue you. Please help me. This is the only way we can keep the antiviral and Hitomi safe. What? How? Did she force Kanan to record this message, or did she doctor it? Did she record it herself, posing as Kanan? However, why did she pose as Kanan all the way then? Because she would be recognized face to face, or? The video ended and the girl handed Maria a necklace with an ornate pendant and showed her the hidden switch on the back. Kanan's coming to Japan? Maria asked. She's already here. She's ready to risk her life for this mission. Risk her life? Maria started uneasily. So this terrorist who's after the antiviral drug, is it Alfred? The girl looked shocked. You know about Alfred? I guess if you're Alfred and someone is telling you about yourself, you would be shocked. Kanan told me that taking down Alfred is a purpose in life, but But Alfred has ties to the CIA, so it's hard for Kanan to get any good leads. That's true, which reminds me, you should have this. The girl held out a photograph. Just in case, don't trust this guy. Because he's on my tail as well. This man is dangerous. Stay away from him. He's an ally of Alfred. Maria did her best to burn the man's image into her mind. Alright, the girl said. I've passed along everything Kanan wanted me to tell you. What you do next is up to you. Oh, look at her. She knows exactly what she's doing here. That's not Alfred. So wait, what the heck has been going on while I've been asleep? Osawa recoiled from the ferocity on his daughter's face. That Kanan girl thought of a way to save you. He went on to explain the plan to get the antiviral out of the lockdown laboratory. Once again, Maria stared at the monitor. As she eyed Kanan's friend, another memory from before she blacked out drifted to the surface. She drugged her. Look at her smile! Oh man, the acting in this is superb. Suddenly it dawned on Maria what this girl was planning. She pretended to be Kanan in order to get into the lab, she said, scowling at the image on the monitor. Osawa looked at the screen and then at his daughter's face. Well, then who in the world is she? Maria already had the answer. There was no doubt about it. That girl was Alfred. You know, the impact would have been much higher and much better if this was the scene where we learned about it. And we had to put it back ourselves like that. Then again, the photograph scene was also kind of nice, I think, with Stanley learning about it. And you had to do it some way, because otherwise you would have thought, oh my god, what is Stanley doing all this time here? If we were not able to see it. Anyway, the instant she realizes this, she knew they were in danger. If Alfred managed to infiltrate the lab, there was no way she'd be satisfied with simply getting her hands on the antiviral. She sowed ruin everywhere she went. Is something wrong? Sava asked uneasily. Maria, what is it? Maria's mind was racing. She spoke her thoughts out loud. She's going to kill you so the drug can't be recreated. No, that's not far enough. She's going to destroy this whole facility. But how? Vague possibilities tumbled through her mind, but she couldn't be sure what the terrorists might be planning. She gritted her teeth in frustration. Don't worry, Osawa said. I don't know who that girl is, but right now she's outside the lab. There's no way she can kill me or plant a bomb in here or anything. Yeah, I know. Maria gave a tiny nod, but something gnawed at the back of her mind. What if there's already a bomb in here anyway? Make sure you wear the necklace. Hurriedly, Maria took off the pendant that hung around her neck. As soon as she did, she felt a chill run up her spine. Oh crap. I did it now, Daddy. She went back over the details of Alfred's plan as her father had explained it. And then, finally, she understood. No survivors. I've got it. Osawa straightened up. You've got what? I need to get out there where those three are. Don't be absurd. I have to go. Osawa peered closely at his daughter's face. Words weren't going to stop her, and as he realized that, his own face stiffened with determination. Alright, but I'm going with you. I can't let you rush into danger all by yourself. Thank you. Dad? Daddy? Maria tried to get up from the sofa, but she was struck by a wave of vertigo, and her knees buckled. Are you alright? Osawa caught her by the arm. This is probably a side effect of the antiviral. You shouldn't push yourself too much. Maria looked up at her father's anxious face and shook her head. Don't worry, I'll be okay. Man, this is... I didn't think the game would get any more interesting, but here I am, on the edge of my seat. Her body was weak with lethargy, her mind trapped in a disorienting gaze. Every step was a monumental effort, but she clenched her jaw and forced herself onward, making her way down the laboratory hallway. A whirlwind of anger and sadness spurred her onward. Alfred was masquerading as Canaan. The cruel truth was all too clear. The terrorists would never have been able to get away with the deception if Canaan were still alive. Oh crap, are you sure? Which means that Canaan must be... Maria fought to hold back her tears. No, that can't be. There's an anime about her. Is this a prequel? It was too early to cry just yet. That could wait until after she'd put a stop to Alfred's plan. Using her rage to suppress her sorrow, she shoved open the door in front of her. That isn't Canaan! Everyone already knows, but alright. Maria's voice exploded into the silence of the standoff. I thought we're getting better testimony than that, Stanley said, his gun still at the ready. There's no talking your way out of things this time. The expression on Alfred's face didn't change. She stood still, a mannequin without a soul. What did you do to Canaan? Maria demanded. Man, she looks really distraught, marching unsteadily towards the terrorists. Maria, stay back, Osawa exclaimed. She ignored him. Hey, don't get any closer, Tateno barked. He looked exhausted, on the verge of collapse. Answer me, Maria cried, still advancing. What happened to Canaan? But still, Alfred said nothing. Stanley too began edging towards her. It doesn't matter what you ask, he said. She won't tell you anything. Bit by bit he inched closer. He was going to try to take her down. Let me turn your question around, Alfred said abruptly. What do you think? Maria paused, confused. What do I think about what? What do you think happened to Canaan? The corners of her lips twisted up, shaping a mirthless smile. Damn, she's crazy. You killed her, didn't you? Maria's words came out as a whisper. What was that? I couldn't quite hear you. You killed Canaan, didn't you? This time Maria cried out with biting fury. Alfred snickered. She's provoking me, Maria thought, forcing herself to swallow her rage. She couldn't let herself get caught up in Alfred's game, or her anger would spill out of control. Oh yeah, hold back the tears. Come on. Why are you laughing? By force of will, Maria made her voice firm and steady. Because I'm guessing you weren't expecting me to show up here. Alfred raised an eyebrow ever so slightly. This thing here, it's a bomb, isn't it? Maria held out the necklace. What? Stanley furrowed his brow. Of course. Even if we managed to catch you here, you'd still be able to destroy the lab. Still, the smile remained on Alfred's face. She seemed to enjoy watching the others figure out her intentions. I love her. As a villain, she's the fucking best. But you can't trigger the bomb with me standing this close to you, can you? Maria locked eyes with Alfred. Unless you're prepared to sacrifice yourself? She stood like an image of bravery, while on the inside, her apprehension threatened to tear her apart. She could feel her heart thudding so furiously that she thought it might explode. Cold sweat trickled down her spine. Only her rage at Canaan's murder kept her from backing down. Go ahead and blow yourself up if that's what you want, she said. but you'll die with nothing. Your death will mean nothing, but not mine. My death will avenge Canaan's. Oh, she literally doesn't care about that. I think she couldn't care less. Silence fell outside the laboratory gates. Who's supposed to break through the situation now? Stanley and Tatena stood frozen, their guns still trained on Alpha. Both men were ready to pull the trigger at the slightest provocation. Just do it now! What are you waiting for? Just how long had they been there, staring one another down? The passage of time seemed to slow, seconds drawn into hours. Kinda like this game. Osawa swallowed audibly.